Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be reviewing episode 2 of The Time Warrior with the Third Doctor. This was sent to me by one of my subscribers, Ian. He did send it to my P.O. box, and I really appreciate that. I've always wanted to see The Time Warrior. I have never seen it before. This is the first story with Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane is my favorite companion. So it is nice to be able to actually see this. It's also the first story with the Sontarans in it. And plus, it's a Third Doctor story. I love the Pertwee era. And it gives me an opportunity to see more of Season 11, as I am a bit lacking in that season. I like the interactions between the Doctor and Lynx. I like the fact that the Doctor has encountered the Sontarans before, even though we haven't seen it. That he mentions he's encountered them before. He knows their race. He knows about the war between them and the Rutans. Instead of Rutons, they call them Rutans here. I like that. Interesting. Kind of like Omega and Omega. So he talks about the Rutons there, and I like the fact that Lynx is familiar with the Time Lords. When he mentions Gallifrey, I am a Time Lord. I love the pride Pertwee takes in that. I am a Time Lord. The way he says it, like, I'm a Time Lord. You need to listen to what I say. I love that. Of course, Lynx isn't having any of it. He's like, and how he describes about, well, that's how they're described. You know, I'm just a commander. That's how y'all are described in our guide. And the Doctor's like, yeah, I really don't think you should put that guide to the test. I enjoyed that whole interaction. I really like Lynx. Again, as I mentioned in my Part 1 review, I like that there's no modern Who comedic side to Lynx. Lynx is deadly serious. And he comes across as a true threat, even more so than like the Iron Graft, the human villain. He comes across as a villain and a threat, but not as much as Lynx does. You kind of have this impression that Lynx could just kill all of them if he wanted to, but he needs their help. But if he wanted to, he could just wax all of them. And I like the idea of this one Sultan just being able to take out everybody if he wanted. I love how serious he is. The actor playing him does a really good job. I really like the voice work and the way he moves around in the suit. He actually seems to get around pretty well, considering. And the makeup's pretty decent for Classic Who. I like how independent Sarah is in this one. I've always loved Sarah Jane, but I do get the complaints every now and then that she does fall into the damsel in distress trope. And she gets hypnotized a lot. I mean, it even happens briefly in this one, but it is just for a second, and it makes sense plot-wise. And we'd already seen Lynx hypnotize someone else, so it's not out of character or out of place. But she does tend to get hypnotized a lot, and drugged a lot, and all that stuff. So I really am enjoying her. She's very strong-willed in this story. Sarah Jane always is, but especially here. I'm really loving that, combined with her hair, combined with her outfit. And remembering the story came out in like 1973. I like seeing the strong, independent woman just taking charge here. Like, I love that she doesn't trust the Doctor. That was interesting. Seeing, like, when she first sees the Doctor, and he's like, Sarah, Miss Smith, she just takes one look at him and bolts away because she thinks he's in league with the bad guys. I love that. And when she gets away with the Archer, and she's talking to the good guy king at the other castle, how she's like, well, they're like, well, we hear they're working with a guy from the stars. And she's like, that's the Doctor. We have to stop him. Yeah, the Doctor's a bad guy. He's in league with this guy. She's the one, I mean, it's so weird because Sarah and the Doctor are so close. So seeing that not established yet, and seeing Sarah thinking the Doctor is a villain here, not knowing who he is, and then watching her come up with the raid idea. Yeah, we sneak in, we get a few people, we take out the sentries. A raid? Yes! I'm like, she's sitting here taking control of this group already. I love it. I love it. I wish like Sarah Jane was always like this. I mean, she is at times, especially in the modern series and in Sarah Jane Adventures. I just wish she was always the way she is in this story, at least thus far. So I've really liked Sarah in this, and her independence, and her... I like the fact she doesn't trust the Doctor, and I like the fact that she's the one kind of coming up with the ideas for the raid. I love all of that. I like the one scientist who's there, Rubish, is that his name? The one that's practically blind? I like him. I don't know why. I just like him. he has a strong likability for me. I like when him and the Doctor interact, and he's kind of going off on tangents, and the Doctor's just like... Because that's kind of how the companions feel sometimes when the Doctor goes off on tangents, and the companions are like... So I like how, even without realizing it, the Doctor's kind of getting a taste of his own medicine. I enjoy that immensely. And I like when he first gets out and he sees the two guys, and he's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Hi! And then he knocks them both down and runs off. I always love when I get a third Doctor. Hi! I love that. It looks a little weird right at the end when the Doctor's running around the field, outrunning all of them. That really far away shot looks really awkward. The fact that it's just that one long shot, and I can't even tell if that's Pertwee or somebody else. It's probably Pertwee, because Pertwee loves doing his own stunts. But you can't really tell because it's so far away, and it maintains that shot way too long. There should have been a little intercutting. Not as much as modern television does, but a little intercutting. And then how the Doctor just kind of falls over some hay, and the villain comes up, and it's like, you know, no one strikes me and lives with Zax, and then it cuts. I was surprised that the episode was over right there, too. It didn't seem like it had ran that long. So when the credits start rolling, I was like, whoa, that took me by surprise. But that was still pretty neat that it snuck up on me, just raises the axe back, and boom, credits. I did like the scene too when the robot is attacking the archer and the Doctor takes the crossbow and shoots the remote out of the guy's hand. That was pretty cool. I like that. The Doctor already figuring out what was going on because he's the Doctor. I enjoyed that too. I'm very much enjoying this story so far. I'm halfway through it now. I really liked it. I know the Time Warrior seems to be pretty well thought of for the most part. I hear a few people that don't care for it. Gonna be honest, I'm not getting why yet. I'm really liking it. I think this is one of the best portrayals of the Sontaran I've ever seen. I much prefer how Classic Who does them anyway. Although I still don't quite understand how Lynx can do the time travel stuff. Like I mentioned in part 1, I didn't think Sontarans had time travel technology. So I don't see, especially on a damaged ship, how he's even has this limited amount of time travel technology. Doesn't that kind of negate the whole point of the two Doctors, unless they're trying to get a more advanced version of time travel? I don't know. Just a thought. Anyway, that's my thoughts on part 2 of the Time Warrior. I'd like to know what you think of part 2 of the Time Warrior, so comment down below and let me know your opinion, because I do always enjoy hearing from you guys. Other things to do while I have you here. If you like watching the channel and haven't subscribed yet, I would implore that you go ahead and click that subscribe button. That helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and that also helps me grow the channel, because there are a lot of things I can do with the channel that unlock when I hit 1,000 subscribers. So that is my goal now, is to kind of hit 1,000 subscribers so I can do more things with the channel I really want to do. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me that way. There's a link to that down in the description below. Some of my middle and higher end patrons do get an exclusive video every week, plus early access to videos sometimes, polls, stuff like that. I have a P.O. box if there's anything you would like to send me. As this DVD, The Time Warrior, was sent to me by one of my subscribers, Ian, which I really appreciate. So if there's anything you would like to send me, check that out down in the description below. I also have a link to my Amazon wish list, which I update regularly with Doctor Who and non-Doctor Who stuff, in case you want to check that out. I have a link to my Amazon UK wish list down there as well. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.